So on today's webinar, we'll be having a look at the different features that are exclusive to Ultimate that you may not have seen if either you're currently on the basic version or if you're still on the Pro version. Okay, so it's 31 minutes past, so I will get started. So welcome to today's webinar. So the key features in Ultimate, which aren't available in Pro, end up focusing on two key things. So one of them is enhancing the experience of your team, and the other features are more focused on integrations. So I'll begin with the team-focused features first that you may not have seen. So this first feature that I'm showing you is exclusive to Ultimate, but it's also exclusive to team plans as well. So this space allows you and your team, so other people on your subscription, to share status updates. And using this, you and your team can communicate with everyone else, what you're working on, if there's anything everyone else needs to know. And as our company have found, over lockdown, over COVID, it's very, very easy to become overwhelmed with lots of streams of communication, and that can become very distracting. So, what we like to do at the beginning of every day is just update our pulse so that everyone on the team can see, what we're working on, what the rest of the team is working on. For example, here. So that way, if you're wondering who's working on which project, who's going to be busy, who's available, you can see that at a glance rather than having to message people back and forth. Okay, so just to reiterate for anyone who's just joined us, today's webinar will be focused on Ultimate features. So that's the focus of this webinar. And I'll be doing this webinar all on the web app. Just for anyone who's just joined us, this webinar will be recorded and we will be sending it out later in the week. So that was Team Pulse. Now you can see on the side here, I've got different groups. And within those groups, I've got different people who are on my team. And that is also a unique feature to Ultimate. Is a way of categorizing your different team members or even contacts together. So to access this feature, go to the menu and click on groups. And here you can create different groups. So the top one is called your groups. So that can be made up of people who maybe are individual subscription holders but aren't part of your team, even free users, and you can combine the groups together. So you've got a mixture of people who are in your team and people who are not. Then down the bottom here, you've got groups in your Ayoa plan. So these groups will be made up only of people who are on the same subscription team as you. And this is great for categorizing different departments, maybe different project groups. And this will help save time when you're putting together boards or group chats, as you can add the entire group rather than adding individuals. So for example, if I just click on this plus, I can choose my new group name. Now I can add other people into this group. And I can choose whether everyone sees it or if just the group members see it. So now, for example, if I go to create a new whiteboard, rather than inviting individual people, I can type in my new group name and that adds all of them at once. And that really saves time. And you can do exactly the same on chats as well. So if I click on this blue icon, rather than clicking through here and adding lots of different people, I can find my group and create a new group chat there. So that is groups. So the next thing I'll be looking at is a feature that is exclusive to My Maps at the moment, and that's called Presenter. So this is a mind map that I've created earlier. And let's say I want to present this to a group. I might have it up on a large screen, or I might be sharing this like I am right now through Zoom. And I just want to walk through the different branches and discuss this mind map. So right down the bottom here, we've got the present tools. And here you can either just pick and choose maybe a few different branches that you want to share. So I select it and then click add. And when I start presenting this way, it means I can just focus on those key branches. Or, so I'm just going to click clear all to remove my choices. Or if I want to show the entire mind map, I can just click add all, and that will add all of the branches. And I click on the top one, so I know where I want to begin. And then if I click start presenting, bear with me just a moment. There we go. So if I click start presenting, I can walk through my mind map one branch at a time. If I want to skip to a different section, I can just click on the name and that will open up all the other branches behind it. And I can use the scroll on my mouse or the trackpad to zoom in and out as much as I like. So I'm not stuck with a particular zoom in level. I can choose how zoomed in I want to be throughout the presentation. And then to stop presenting, just click stop. And we're back to the mind map. I can continue just editing it. And until I clear all, everything that I've added in here will remain there. So I can switch back to presenting at any time. So that is a feature that is exclusive to Ultimate and is in the mind map view. We're looking to add it to the whiteboard view in the future, but at the moment, it's just in mind maps. So the next Ultimate feature that I'm going to show you, or at least show you where it's located, is our two types of video chat. So there's a few different ways to access that, but the simplest one, of course, would be in the chat. So if I just open up a chat with somebody, if I click on this video camera, then I've got two different ways of beginning a call. Now, obviously, I'm on a call at the moment, so I'm not going to be able to demonstrate this to you as I'm already using Zoom. But if you click and start Ayoa video meeting, this begins a call without leaving the app. So you'll get pop-up video here, which will allow you to chat and continue using Ayoa. But if you would prefer to use Zoom, you can launch a Zoom call straight from this chat. And still, you can still continue using Ayoa that way as well. You'll find that when you minimize it, you'll get your Zoom video up here, and you can continue using Ayoa. we've added these options throughout the app. So if you want to start a quick call with someone who you're working on a mind map with, for example, if you go into the settings here, you can start the calls straight from the mind map. And that means that everyone that is in this mind map will be automatically invited to that video call. That option is in task boards as well. So if you click up to this menu, you can start the Ayoa video meeting or the Zoom call straight from the task board and invite everyone automatically. So, if you need to very quickly, start a meeting and get everyone on board, the quickest way to do that, rather than creating a new chat and starting the call from there, is to just open up whatever mind map or task board you wish to discuss. So the next features I will be looking at are the integrations. So our key integrations are Google Calendar and Evernote, and they are exclusive to the task boards. So if you want to sync your task board to your Google Calendar, all you need to do is just open the task board that you want to sync. And right down the bottom, you'll see Google Calendar sync. This will open up your integrations and will give you a list of all the task boards that you have. And you can pick and choose which one you want to sync. So what that will do, I'll just open Google Calendar here. It creates calendars in your Google Calendar, and it adds the tasks as events. So for the best results, if you are syncing a task board to your Google Calendar, I recommend using start and due dates so that they're best represented on the calendar. And if you haven't added a start date or a due date, then obviously it won't be added to your Google Calendar, because there'll be no way of working out where it needs to go. So if you're ever having any issues or you can't see a task on your Google Calendar, do just check that you've actually added a start and due date to it. The next integration that we have is with Evernote. So for those of you who maybe haven't used Evernote before, it's a great resource for collecting and writing notes. And the integration with Ayoa works both ways. So you can create a note in Evernote and sync it to Ayoa as a task. Then you use tags to send it to Ayoa, and that will sync it automatically. And when it's been synced, you'll get a notification. So task created by Evernote, and you can choose exactly where you want to put that task. You can see it's been added now to that category. You can also do it the other way around. So if I just pick a task here, the tab that I'm looking for is More, and you can see Send a Task to Evernote. You can pick and choose which notebook you want to add it to, and then click Send. goes. So yes, there we go. So you can see it's now been added. This is also tagged in Ayoa and has a link straight to that task as well. So if at any point you need to change your Evernote integration, you can go into integrations in your settings and disable it in there. For the Google Calendar integration, you'll need to go into your Google account settings to disable that integration. So you can only be synced up to one calendar at a time. So if you do need to change it, remember to change it in your Google Calendar first. Also, whilst not technically an integration, you can use Google Drive and Dropbox to attach documents rather than just uploading things from your computer. It is as simple as just clicking onto your Google Drive. The first time you do this, you'll be prompted to sign in, and then after that, you'll be able to browse your documents and upload them. So unlike your attaching documents that you've uploaded from your computer with the Google Drive, it means if you make any changes to that file, you will see it on Ayoa. So there's an additional feature that I wanted to show you. It's on mind maps and task boards, and it's called Live Share. And this is a way of leading people through your mind map while you're having a meeting. So to turn that on, go up to your settings and click Live Share on. So it'll be a little bit difficult to show you this as I'm the one presenting, but hopefully I'll give you an idea of how it works. So at the moment, anyone else who is viewing this mind map, once they enter the live share, it means that I can control what they're looking at. So as I click the branches, it moves the mind map about, and the same will be happening on their screen. So as you can imagine, if you are on a video call with somebody and you want to, talk through the mind map without going into full presentation mode, perhaps you want to focus on different items that different people are bringing up, then this is a great way to control that view. And then once you stop the live share, everyone can control the mind map in their own way again. And then we've got exactly the same feature on task boards as well. So this works ever so slightly differently, but it's the same sort of principle. So if I turn live share on, I invite people to the live share. If I click on the eyes, what that will do is, if that's not what they're looking at that moment, it will make this column central so you can walk through and discuss the different tasks within this category. And then you can simply stop sharing at any point. So you can see that Ultimate gives you a few extra ways of collaborating and discussing ideas with your team. It's very team centric. And it works really well with the other features, like the video chat as well, so, to really improve that communication. So that was a flavor of the different things that you can get in Ultimate that aren't available in Pro. or the basic version. I mean, I can see there are a couple of questions already. So what I'm going to do now is have a look through, see what you guys have asked. And if anyone else has any questions, please submit them now. And I will do my best to answer your questions. And while I'm having a look through, I'm just going to leave this mind map up, which just gives information about other ways to find out more about Ayoa and get some support. Okay, so the first question was about using Ayoa across the Mac and iPhone. We're not supported on the iWatch, but we do have a iPhone app. If you just bear with me a moment. Just going to share a link with the person that asked that. And that will direct you to the page where you can download the different Ayoa apps and see what's available. The next question was, can the meeting be scheduled in Ayoa? So you can't schedule to Google Calendar, but you could use tasks to remind people. So for example, if I wanted to have a meeting with Rose, for example, if I click here, I can create a task. And I can set a date and a time. We'll have a reminder 10 minutes before. So I'll get a reminder, at 9:50 tomorrow, which says meeting, with Rose. And that way I can just jump into the chat and start that video call straight away. Okay, so next question, does it integrate with Outlook Calendar? No, we don't have an integration with Outlook Calendar at this time. The only calendar integration that we have is with Google Calendar. Okay, can you use live share if the person isn't signed in to the mind map? So the live share is for people who are added to the mind map. For example, let me just find my map. So for example, these people, I've invited them to it. So the live share is geared towards that. So what I would suggest, if you wanted to share ideas with the mind map with people outside your organization, what you could do is use the presenter mode and then do something like I'm doing right now, where I'm using Zoom to share my screen. So that would be a way around that. Because as you can see, Zoom works quite nicely with Ayoa for sharing ideas. How can I check which version I've got? Okay, so if you go to your settings and go to your account settings, so this person is a member of a team, so I may not see the settings here. Go. So this person is a member of the team, not the owner of the team. So they if you bought the subscription, you should see that within here. But if you're in any doubt, just pop us over an email at support@ayoa.com, and we can double check that for you if for any reason you're having difficulty finding out what plan you're on. Okay, so just while I'm waiting for some other questions, I'm just going to walk you through other ways you can find out about Ayoa. So if you prefer step-by-step written guides that you can follow at your own pace, we've got lots of written support guides on support.ayoa.com. If you have found this webinar useful, if you go to our YouTube channel, so if you search for Ayoa, we've got a collection of our previous webinars. So somebody mentioned about, getting started. That's actually a webinar that we do on a fairly regular basis, and an overview of the different features, and is really geared towards, people who are new and want an overview of the app. And then, if there are other features that you're interested in finding out more about, so maybe you're more into mind mapping, there's a webinar that focuses, purely on mind mapping. So if you have a look through that playlist, there'll be something there for you. And then, if there's a question you simply can't find the answer to, just pop us over an email at support@ayoa.com, and we'd be happy to help you. Our office hours are 9 till 5. We're pretty fast answering during that time. So yeah, if there's anything you're unsure of, just pop us over an email there. We usually do our webinars on a Wednesday. We made a bit of an exception this week due to unforeseen circumstances. But then next week we're back to normal. So we'll be doing a webinar on getting started in Ayoa, and that will be at 2:30 on Wednesday, the 17th of February. So as I mentioned, a recording of this webinar will be sent out later this week. Usually it's the day after, but it might be Thursday this week. So don't be worried if you don't get it tomorrow. It doesn't look like there's any more questions. But if anything occurs to you after this webinar's ended, just pop us over an email at support@ayoa.com. I really hope that you found this session useful, and if there is anything more you want to find out about, do contact us and let us know, and I'll hope you join us for the webinar next week, which will be all about getting started in Ayoa. Right, thank you very much for your time. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.